Close your eyes for just a second. Picture the gentle sound of distant river water, a warm breeze rustling through centuries-old brick walls, and a spectacular cinematic sunrise glowing over weathered ruins. Welcome to another Discover Thailand Province by Province Explainer. Today we're taking a deeply reflective journey just a short hop north of Bangkok's sprawling modern skyline. We're leaving the chaotic traffic and those giant high-rises totally behind us. We're stepping into a city where history isn't just trapped in textbooks, it's quite literally carved into every single weathered brick. We're exploring the eternal foundation of a nation, Ayutthaya.
This explainer is proudly brought to us by KnowThai. You know, it's funny, a lot of visitors today look at Ayutthaya and unfortunately, they just see, well, a collection of quiet, old rocks. They hop off a quick bus tour, grab a fast selfie in front of a stone stupa, and then they're gone. But we're here to uncover something way more profound. We are going to peel back the centuries and see what actually lies beneath the surface of these ancient stones.
Think about how we usually categorize Thailand's famous spots, right? Bangkok is all about that vibrant, chaotic energy. Chiang Mai offers this beautiful, serene calm. And Phuket, that's your ultimate tropical escape. But Ayutthaya is completely different. It is the foundation. It's the absolute bedrock of the modern nation. You honestly cannot understand the energy, the calm, or the culture of modern Thailand without first understanding this specific place.
So let's really dive into this. Try to imagine it. Centuries ago, this absolutely wasn't a quiet park of ruins. Back in the 17th century, foreign merchants sailing up the river described this place as literally one of the greatest, most dazzling metropolises on Earth. It was this bustling, massive international trade hub, filled with unimaginable golden palaces that just gleamed in the tropical sun. It was a true wonder of the ancient world.
And here is a stat that always completely blows my mind: the sheer, jaw-dropping scale of the place. We all have this modern bias when we think of historical global powers, don't we? But at its absolute peak, this ancient capital was actually larger and more prosperous than London or Paris were at the exact same time in history. It was a cosmopolitan center where East truly met West. It jolts you a bit to realize the immense power and wealth that once radiated from these now quiet riverbanks.
Now, the crucial thing to understand is that Ayutthaya isn't just some city that disappeared into the void of history. When the city tragically fell in 1767 after a really devastating siege, the kingdom didn't actually end. The people, the culture, the entire spirit of the empire simply moved south along the Chao Phraya River. They rebuilt, and that new capital? That eventually became the Bangkok we all know today. And because it sits only about 80 kilometers north of that modern capital, Ayutthaya is pretty much the absolute perfect destination for a one-day trip. The logistics are incredibly simple. You catch an early morning train out of Bangkok, sit by an open window, and just watch the dense urban skyline slowly melt away into lush green countryside. In just an hour and a half, you're there. You cross the river, and suddenly, boom, you are inside a living museum. The best way to explore on your own terms? Just rent a local open-air tuk-tuk or grab a bicycle.
As you start riding that bicycle along the shaded ancient paths, you'll start to notice something super fascinating about the geography itself. Navigating between these massive, crumbling structures reveals a brilliant, centuries-old layout. The city was intentionally built on an island, completely surrounded by 3 converging rivers. These rivers acted as massive natural moats to protect the kingdom. It's an absolute masterpiece of ancient urban planning that successfully guarded this dazzling metropolis for over 400 years.
Today, the heart of this ancient city is recognized globally as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And walking into ruins like Wat Mahathat, the atmosphere completely changes. The weight of time is just everywhere around you. You look up at these towering prangs, these incredible spiral-like structures reaching into the sky. You walk past endless rows of headless stone statues, and you can literally touch the weathered walls that tell the silent, tragic story of a fallen empire.
But right in the middle of that destruction, nature kind of stepped in to create its own masterpiece. And this brings us to what is easily one of the most famous images in all of Thailand: the serene stone Buddha head cradled gently inside the massive, tangled roots of a banyan tree. It is breathtaking in person. Looking into those calm stone eyes, wrapped so tightly in the grip of nature, you understand something really profound. Ayutthaya's spirit was never truly broken. It was simply absorbed back into the earth itself.
That being said, exploring a living sacred site definitely requires a deep understanding of proper etiquette. These ruins are highly revered holy grounds, right?
The first rule is your dress code. Shoulders and knees must be completely covered. Wearing loose linen is a really great way to handle the tropical heat while staying respectful. Plus, never climb on the ancient structures, please do not touch the fragile statues, and always remove your shoes before entering any active halls. Also, try to keep your head positioned below Buddha statues. Following these rules honors a living culture, not just a tourist site.
Okay, let's shift gears to something absolutely delicious, because no explainer of Ayutthaya is complete without exploring its culinary heritage. Imagine this. After a long, hot afternoon of exploring ruins, you sit down at a breezy riverside restaurant. The ultimate local specialty here? Giant river prawns. They are grilled to absolute perfection over hot charcoal. You crack them open to find the meat is perfectly sweet and that rich head fat is golden and wonderfully creamy. Honestly, it is an absolute must-do experience.
And for dessert, we have a true local legend, Roti Sai Mai. It's often described as vibrant, colorful strands of hand-pulled sugar wrapped tightly in a warm, paper-thin pancake. Walking around, you'll see local vendors expertly spinning these delicate threads of sugar all over the city. It's a sweet tradition born right here in the heart of the ancient capital, and it represents hundreds of years of cultural exchange and trade. It literally tastes like history.
As the intense afternoon heat finally begins to fade, it's time for the ultimate way to close your journey. You're going to want to head to the banks of the Chaiwatthanaram River, just outside the main historic island, to a temple called Wat Chaiwatthanaram. You want to time your arrival perfectly with the sunset. This is where the true, breathtaking magic of Ayutthaya reveals itself, and everything you've learned today just visually comes together in one spectacular moment.
Just picture the scene. The sun dips below the horizon and the sky turns these brilliant shades of orange and deep crimson. This fading light completely silhouettes the massive symmetrical Khmer-style towers of the temple. And as you sit by the water, watching these ancient bricks glow a deep fiery red, something shifts in your mind. You completely forget all about the dates, the wars, the historical checklists. You just feel the immense, undeniable grandeur of the empire.
And that brings us to a really profound realization. As those first stars begin to appear in the evening sky, and you're sitting there totally captivated by the illuminated ruins, you realize you aren't checking your watch anymore. You've discovered that Ayutthaya is not just a graveyard of history. It's not just a collection of old rocks for a quick photo op. It is something vibrant, something alive, and something that demands absolute reverence.
Because as we reflect on this entire journey, we must acknowledge that kingdoms may fall. No matter how incredibly powerful they are, the passage of time is always inevitable.
Walls, even those built as brilliant natural defenses to protect the most dazzling metropolises, those walls may ultimately crumble back into the earth. And entire empires, even those vastly larger and wealthier than London or Paris, they may eventually disappear from the world map altogether.
But the stories continue. The spirit moves south. The culture evolves, and the legacy lives on in the food, the respect, and the modern nation itself. Ayutthaya remains one of the greatest stories Thailand still tells. And before you even realize it, you've fallen deeply in love with an ancient capital that continues to command absolute awe.
So we now know exactly where Thailand's modern story began. We've walked on its bedrock. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question that points straight to our next journey. What secrets lie hidden out west in the deep, lush jungles of Kanchanaburi? Next time, we're going to explore breathtaking waterfalls and uncover some of the most moving World War II history in all of Asia. Until then, stay curious, keep exploring, and thank you so much for joining me for this look into the true foundations of Thailand.